All right, in round one, we've got the choice. We'll play first, and I think we're going to keep this hand. Obviously, it's slow, but I do like that we have all of our lands, and potentially ramp into a 5-drop maybe if we don't see anything earlier. All right, not a great hand, but certainly playable. Guess it's much more likely that we're just morphing the Weapon Master into the Salt Road Patrol rather than playing the banner, but whatever. All right, Horde Chief is actually a fine draw. All right, so he could Debilitating Injury our guy, but I'm still not going to play around it. We don't have to necessarily show him that we're just Sky yet. He can still think we're Mardu, so let's get this guy down. All right, well, we get to attack into the Wind Scout, so I'm satisfied with that. And then we get to follow up with a Horde Chief, which I think is pretty good against the Wind Scout. All right, Valley Dasher's not bad either. Yeah, Valley Dasher's not bad. I can actually play Banner into Valley Dasher. I think I actually like that more than playing the Horde Chief. All right, the main issue with going Banner into Valley Dasher is he's much more motivated to block our Weapon Master. So I do have to think about that. Because once I've got the 5th resource, I kind of don't want to trade our Weapon Master. All right, I think I'm changing my plans. I'm not going to attack into the Wind Scout with my Morph. Because I have the Unmorph now, I find this guy much more valuable as an Unmorph. So I think we're just going to Banner and Valley Dasher and swing in. This also lets me pump my Valley Dasher potentially next turn if he drops a creature that I can't deal with. It could very well be that he had no interest in blocking my Morph anyway, but basically I'm giving him information that I value my Morph more than I value his Wind Scout. But I do value my Morph more than I value his Wind Scout, so I don't want to risk losing my guy. I feel like it's more likely now that he has Dragon Scale Boon. So I think I'm just going to swing with my Valley Dasher. All right. So now what I'm going to do is play Seeker of the Way and Mardu Horde Chief. Could be setting up for a bad Death Frenzy, but I'm not going to play around it till I see it. All right, Soothsayer, a little bit less of a big deal. Still pretty good, though. The good news is our Morph just got much better. So now we can still swing with the entire team and likely just do really good here, I think. I don't think he's got great blocks. He's certainly not motivated to block the Valley Dasher. He certainly is motivated to block the Seeker of the Way, but I'm willing to sacrifice my Seeker of the Way to unmorph my Weapon Master, kill his Soothsayer, and he takes 4, 6, 8, 9 damage, yeah. Seems worth it to me. So I think he's not likely to block with his Wind Scout. He is going to block the Seeker of the Way with the Soothsayer. He might block Wind Scout Valley Dasher, but that's not a big deal. I guess he could block Soothsayer on our Morph, but that's still fine for me too. Then we don't lose anything. I don't even think that's a good block for him, to be honest, since Valley Dasher has to block, or attack, rather. All right, I'm actually okay with this, so we're going to clear, well, whoa. He's making some decisions here. All right, so he did figure out the better block. Oh, well, geez, he's having a tough time. All right, wait, whoa. Okay, finally decided on that one. So we'll do this. We'll unmorph our buddy. He didn't take out our Seeker of the Way, which actually doesn't make any sense, but we are going to happily accept. So we don't lose our guy. He's going to still take a lot of damage. We trade with a Wind Scout, which is good. We're going to have a Bring Low for next turn, so we're looking pretty good here. I mean, he keeps his Soothsayer, which is good for him, but we got a pretty healthy life stroke there. We're actually just now Barrage of Boulders away from winning. All right, Pine Walker's quite good. I'm wondering if I can still swing with Team here. We do have him on the defensive pretty good. Bloodfire Expert, also good. So let me think about this. I swing with Team. His best blocks are maybe the Weapon probably Soothsayer Weapon Master, because I think he's definitely going to suspect something with Pine Walker, I would guess. Am I willing to 2-for-1 myself to take out a Pine Walker? Maybe. Then again, maybe it might be better to just play Salt Road Patrol pass. I do kind of have him in a position where I want to keep the assault going, but I may just want to build my board for now. Death Frenzy is the only card I'm really concerned about, but it doesn't seem like an emergency situation yet. I think we just Salt Road Patrol pass. Uh-oh. It's a nice mythic to have. And he gets 2 of them, too. It's pretty powerful. Wait, what? Well, that's a good one to get. Karu Dreadmaw, too. Jeez, that one's good. We're still in okay shape, though. We have a good defense set up at this point. But that was indeed powerful. Guess he did mill himself a bunch, right? It's pretty good for the Sultai deck. Jeez. It's a nice mythic. Alright. Guess at this point we could use a dig through time. Not sure if we're ready to start trading yet. Probably won't bring low up when I do that for my prowess guys. Maybe a chump block to 6/5. Could also trade a Weapon Master and a token for it. But he has 6 cards in hand, which would indicate pretty strongly he's got a trick. But then again, I'm just going to have to get through his tricks, I think. I'm also very fine with waiting, since waiting gives us more opportunities to both get his library out of... Oh, never mind, he's not waiting. He's playing something expensive with Delve. Oh, just a 4/5 that can kill all my guys. Yeah. Alright, well, I guess we do this. Play the Kieran and then pass. So he's going to start eating our guys, but I can't really do much about it. All right. Okay. Oh, another big flyer. Well, that's problematic. Opponent's deck is very good. He's playing a lot of major threats that I can't currently deal with. So guess we got to pop our banner and find our barrage of boulders here and win. Oh, not a barrage of boulders, unfortunately. Well, maybe I'll leave up the bring low so I can block the Necropolis Fiend and then bring low it post-combat, but then we're still taking at least 4 from the River Wheel Aerialists. But I may just have to accept that. Can't really attack. So I guess we're going to just chill out and block his Necropolis Fiend and lose our Kieran and a bring low, which isn't ideal, but I don't really have a lot of options. Alright, unfortunately for us, he changed his plans. So, it's definitely unfortunate, but once again, cannot do anything about it. Alright, so take far too much flying damage. See if we can't get that barrage of boulders here for the win. Guess it's not for the win, though, because he can just sacrifice something, but at this point I might actually have enough damage to win. Maybe. Well, that's tough. So next turn I'm at least taking that much. The most he could gain is 5, maybe 6, which would bring him up to 15. So 4, 7, 9, 13. Yeah, we still have lethal. So I'm not going to outlast here, because if I outlast here, he's motivated to attack with more, and then I might have to do some awful blocks. So I think what we're going to do is just play to our out. So if we draw Barrage of Boulders, we can win. If we don't draw Barrage of Boulders, very likely lose. Our opponent's deck is definitely better than ours, which is never a good feeling. You never want to feel like your opponent's deck is better than yours when you're in a match, but I don't know how else to say it. Our opponent's deck is certainly better than ours, so this is going to be challenging, but we still do have an out. I guess it's not really an out anymore, is it? Because you can just sacrifice multiple creatures. Okay, we don't have an out anymore. I changed my mind. But turn out we drew a land anyway, so it's actually irrelevant. We're definitely dead. So I guess we just unhappily resign ourselves to a loss here and see what we can do in game 2. I'm not sure how we're going to beat this better deck. I got to come up with a good method to beat this better deck. I got to look at our sideboard here. It does have Trail of Mystery, but considering it did nothing, I'm not very motivated to bring in Erase. Kind of tempted to bring in a second Barrage of Boulders now that I've seen he's got all these guys that hold down the fort pretty well. And if I do that, maybe I want to bring in the Blazebringer just for the extra potential bonus. And then I probably cut the Tracker because it doesn't activate our double Barrage of Boulders. Blazebringer's a worse card than Tracker, but Blazebringer at least activates Barrage of Boulders, which I think is better. I think that might be all I've got. So I've got to figure out what I'm taking out for this Barrage of Boulders. I do like our cheap guys because he seems like a slightly slower deck. I definitely like our unblockable guy. I don't want to get rid of removal. Don't really want to dump the banner. Could, though. We definitely weren't resource starved that game. That would bring us down to 6 sources of both white and blue. Not terribly impressive. Could cut the Tormenting Voice, but both Tormenting Voice and Dig Through Time, once again, very good ways to mitigate Mana Clump. Guess we dumped a banner. I don't really want to dump a creature. I don't know if that's going to work out. I guess we dumped a banner. Yeah, this is going to be a tough match. Our opponent's deck is absolutely, just based on the cards we saw, vastly superior to ours. So it's going to be a challenging one to win, but I'm going to do my best. This hand works. Keep it. I can probably dump a Plains to the Tormenting Voice, just based on these two. But, I mean, we're going to need a second red source to play our Prowler at some point. He was debating playing a Kintree Warden, would be my guess. Oh, Secret Away. Well, that's a phenomenal draw, especially if I can Tormenting Voice next turn. But I don't think we are. I think we're just going to morph this guy in next turn. So he was definitely debating the Kintree Warden. Now he's kicking himself for not, since we can attack and he can't regen. Could also barrage of boulders to kill the Kintree Warden, but that does not seem worth it. All right, Trail of Mystery. Certainly fine when you've only played one morph guy so far. So Trail of Mystery, the earlier the better. Kind of tempted to just get in with both, but then again, I don't want to miss my land drop. Kind of want to land this Summit Prowler if I can. I don't need to unmorph Mystic. I'm only giving up 1 point of damage. So the question is, do I want a Tormenting Voice and dump something? Or do I want to just play the Student and set up for a better Tormenting Voice? But I don't know. I mean, he's likely to just play a Morph guy next turn. So maybe the Student would be better, because then I can Tormenting Voice and get the double pump and get in for quite a bit of damage. Possibly find my land then. Could also Tormenting Voice now, potentially find a land to play the Student, which means I should probably dump Summit Prowler or Warden of the Eye. Guess we're going to dump the Summit Prowler, hope we hit a land. I definitely don't like throwing away cards, especially ones that activate Barrage of Boulders. But that being said, I do want to hit my land drops as mentioned, and I do want to keep my Warden of the Eye around, because that card can be quite good. All right, so now the question is, are we morphing to get in with that? Could potentially trade with his morph. Could also have a Monastery Flock. He has the 1 mana. If he does have a Monastery Flock, that's pretty brutal for us since it'll kill our Seeker of the Way. Seems likely that he'd have a Monastery Flock. I remember passing quite a few. Works the best with cards like Trail of Mystery. He's already shown us he's playing Kin Tree Warden, which means he's probably based a lot of his deck around the Trail of Mystery. I think what I'm going to do is play this Tranquil Cove and unmorph my Mystic and get in for 3. It's the safest play, and it gets us damage in. Now, this could very easily not be a Monastery Flock, but as mentioned, if that is a Monastery Flock, it's absolutely just brutally bad for us. We'd lose our lifelinking prowess guy that we really want for this barrage of boulders. I get to play Warden of the Eye next turn, bringing back Tormenting Voice to maybe dig some more, which is also quite good. Still has not dealt with the Mystic, which is nice. I think we attack with Mystic first. Alright, so now I'm actually just going to play the Alabaster Kirin, I think. Because the Kirin... I didn't have to play that land, by the way. But the Kirin is at least an evasive guy, so it can potentially get more damage in the following turn. Okay, so it was a Dragon's Eye Savants, which means had I swung with Seeker of the Way, I still would have lost it, even though it wasn't a flock. So I did play the safe move. He's going to know about our barrage of boulders, but I'm not terribly concerned about that, seeing as he can't block our Alabaster Kirin. We do still need a 4-power guy to make this barrage of boulders lethal. And I wouldn't mind another red source, but at this point, I guess I'm good on lands. As long as Mystic's not dying, I'm feeling pretty good. Salt Road Patrol's fine. Couple turns if he's found some way to deal with our Mystic. The Salt Road Patrol can outlast its way into a lethal barrage of boulders. So I guess we're just going to get in with Mystic and Alabaster Kirin, which at least Kirin does not die to... doesn't die to Monastery Flock. It does die to the 3/1 flyer, and it's also going to die to that, which is unfortunate for us, but as I've stated 1,000 times, this game cannot do anything about it. So pretty brutal there. About as bad as it gets, as a matter of fact. Yeah, it's pretty awful for us, but I have no choice but to accept bad things happening to me. So I think we're just going to hard cast this guy now, since he's still a decent clock. So far, Trail of Mystery has wrecked us pretty good, I admit. But our deck without the Trail of Mystery is... Our opponent's deck without the Trail of Mystery is still vastly superior to ours. So him running Trail of Mystery is more icing on an already good deck, honestly. So, I mean, the one pro we've got is if he can't deal with Mystic, we're going to win. But we've got just basically got one thing he has to deal with. But as long as he can't deal with that, we're fine. All right, still fine. Still think we can race him. All right, second red source. So I've got 6 mana. I can play Warden, bring back Tormenting Voice. Can also play Barrage of Boulders now, double Prowess, kill Kintry Warden. He has 2 blockers still, though. I don't like that. I can play Salt Road Patrol, but it's a little bit too slow. I can play Warden of the Eye, dump Salt Road Patrol to Tormenting Voice, but what am I hunting for? Master the Way. Master the Way would give us lethal damage. Dig Through Time, I can cast it. Weapon Master is also lethal the following turn. Jeskai Charm. Yeah, there's enough good stuff where I'm going to dump this Salt Road Patrol. So we're going to play land. We're going to play Warden. Bring back our Tormenting Voice. Play our Tormenting Voice. We're going to dump the Salt Road Patrol. Get some prowess, but we're not going to be able to take advantage of it, but that's all right. If we draw any of a few cards, we're in good shape. Well, Flying Crane Technique does qualify as a good card. So now I feel pretty good. Even if he has the answer for the Mystic, we've got this Flying Crane Technique, which I would think he's got a pretty hard time beating. For some reason, did not leave up the... Oh, he did. Okay. So the most he could gain is 5, which is certainly not enough to not die to Flying Crane Technique. Double Barrage of Boulders. Well, admittedly, Barrage of Boulders does not look all that sexy right now, but let's see if he's got the Stubborn Denial, because if he does not, he's just going to lose right here. Could have a Force Away. I still think we kill him. That's not enough. All right. So very nice there. What? Whoa. All right. Very nice there. Yeah, I think we're on the same game plan. Happy to get a victory. Opponent's deck is very good. I still don't want to bring in a race. I really don't like a race against Trail of Mystery. Everything else seems too tightly designed. I'm too focused on this Barrage of Boulders plan, which I still believe is very good against our opponent, by the way. Even though he knows we have that now, I still think it's very good against him. So I think we're going to stick with the Barrage of Boulders plan and hope for some capitalization of it. All right, game 3. Unfortunately, we should mulligan. I could keep. I guess I only need 1 land to make Tormenting Voice work. How greedy is that? Considering I only have 1 of my color and it's my... And it's my most populous color. If I draw any land, I'm running 18, so 17 draws. Any land, and I can Tormenting Voice. All right, I'm going to keep. This is definitely a risky keep, but I already don't like our matchup, and I really don't like the idea of mulligan in an already bad matchup. All right, so we're going to discard the... I think the Salt Road Patrol, because we're digging for a white source at this point. All right. So I guess next turn we're going to get the witness down, morphed, of course. Could bring low that. You know, I think I actually am. Oh, wait, I can't. That's right, because I'm missing my land. All right, well, I guess I'm not bring lowing it then. Yeah, Pine Walker's going to be a big deal if that's what that is. But our opponent's got a lot of morphs, so could be literally anything. Trying to think of anything you could unmorph that would kill my guy. Could be... Yeah, there actually could be something. If either of those was the 1/1 Death Toucher, I mean, I don't really want to attack anyway, I don't think. Do I want to bring low? Kind of. But I don't know if I have that luxury. I think we just dropped the Seeker in path. The reason to drop the Seeker is it has potentially lifelink, and that could be good. That being said, I could kill his second morph. He may have baited me with the first one for a removal spell. But if I bring low blindly, I could just hit his 0/6. So I guess we just drop a Seeker and pass. I think we're just going to be on the Barrage of Boulders plan. Now that we potentially have our 4/4 at some point. Oh, no land drop too? That's a good sign. This might be a decent time to get some dudes down. So I think what we're going to do is drop Blazebringer and Student. And then pass. Just basically setting up for flying crane technique would also work, but double barrage bowlers, just Sky Charm can do some work. All right. So we did have a Dragon's Eye Savants. He's aware of stuff we can do. Savants is good against our Blazebringer, so we're definitely going to at least have to wait for one of our Barrage of Boulders, I think, before we can really capitalize. But what I like right now is our Just Sky Charm can do a lot of work defensively. All right, Soothsayer. So I can kill his Morph as long as it's not another Savants with the Bring Low, but I don't think I'm going to. I think what I'm going to do instead is just see what we draw, but more likely just pass the turn and unmorph our Witness of the Ages. Basically just to get this guy locked and loaded, ready to swing in on our opponent when we find our barrage. All right. Land is okay, not great. Guess we just land go. All right, bitterly revelating. All right, Summit Prowler. This is actually just very good for us right now. We're basically just building our board to a point where a barrage of boulders is going to absolutely be lethal. So I think it might already be lethal alongside Jeskai. In fact, I know for a fact it's lethal alongside Jeskai Charm Pump. But even without Jeskai Charm Pump, it's 4, 7, 11, 13, 17. It's actually one short. No, it is lethal with Valley Dasher. So we have lethal now with Barrage of Boulders, which is a good sign. That means inevitability is on our side, and our opponent is currently not pressuring us. Absolutely acceptable. All right. Continue the force of dudes. Now, I could swing in with Witness and Summit Prowler, but he's actually got the 2 blockers for that, so it would force me to attack with Blazebringer as well, which I don't want to do until we have lethal. I think we're still in chill out mode. He hasn't shown us he's got a board wipe yet either. Could have a Water Whirl in there, but I'm not going to play around what I haven't seen yet. I think it's in our best interest to just chill out. Hold out until we find Flying Crane Technique, until we find Barrage of Boulders. So he could play his 9-drop here, and then we can still Jeskai Charm dump it, because now we have lethal. So I don't even technically have to use Necropolis. I don't even have to use Jeskai Charm on that yet. I may just want to hold up. All right, Weapon Master is still pretty good. I think we just drop it. If he plays a spell to do the Necropolis Fiend, to be able to do Necropolis Fiend, I'm just going to Jeskai Charm it. Because at this point, we don't need the Charm to be lethal anymore. That's not a huge deal either. He wants to bounce his Ice Feather Aven. Wait, what? Oh, he bounced my Witness of the Ages. Okay. Why did it show that? That was weird. I think we still have lethal. All right, Dreadmaw, fine. Can tolerate that. No attacks. He's playing around Kill Shot. I don't know what he's doing. That's just weird. That is just weird. All right, Kieran at least holds back the Ice Feather Aven. But do we still have lethal at this point with the barrage? I guess we don't, do we? 4, 8. I can't really do counts too much more either. So I could do the Witness hard cast, but then he could potentially get him with the Necropolis Fiend. I think we just morph this and leave up the Jeskai Charm for the Necropolis Fiend if need be. Or he thinks it's a kill shot right now, which is also very nice for us. Singing Bell Strike. All right. Definitely can tolerate that. At this point, I'm pretty willing to bust the Jeskai Charm, but I do have to do some quick math. He's at 18. He's got a lot of flyers, but Kieran should be able to hold him back. He hasn't started attacking yet either. Let's see if he actually does. I think I'm going to bust my Jeskai Charm on this Necropolis Fiend. All right. I could take the 4 here, but like I said, I already have lethal with Barrage of Boulders or Flying Crane Technique, so let's just put this on top of his library. A little bit awkward since we're generating all this prowess, but I actually think that's fine. He can't recast Necropolis Fiend, and it takes away his next draw step, all of which is pretty beneficial for us, especially since he's still missing his land drop. There's our barrage. So now we have to do math. With barrage, we currently have, with the prowess, 2, 6, 7, 8, 12, 15, 17. We're one short, aren't we? Wait a second. We got Valley Dasher too. All right. I think we're lethal. So one more quick count just to make sure. 2, 5, 9, 11, 15, 17, 19. Lethal. Got it. Very nice. Very cool. Happy to beat a superior deck. Very satisfying. All right, we'll see you in round 2.